Max? Little buddy? No, 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 no! No!
What happened?
Hey! What happened to Max? Talk!
We don't know.
1 second we were guarding the devil's toy box.
Then bam! Out went the lights.
Through a fog of rage, darkness, and raisinets, I tried to remember what Flint Paper told me about interrogating suspects.
Rule number 1, don't let the suspect control the conversation. Get him talking, then surprise him. Interrupt him with a question, or call him a liar, freak him out. And if all else fails, bring little Miss Persuasion out for a stroll.
Okay, surely you all remember this. Yeah, we're back at the beginning of episode 3, because there is a lot of dialogue conversations that I didn't really explore. So I'm going to try and go through every single one of them that I can think to. Hopefully I won't mess this up too much, and this is going to take quite a bit of video editing. So, I'm going to shut up because I'm going to concentrate on picking the wrong answers as long as possible so I can get all the dialogue I can out of this. So, I won't be back for the rest of this video until the very end. Yeah. And then I'll have some massive editing to do. So, enjoy the thing here. The massive amount of dialogue I'm going to go through. And my cat is enjoying running loops around the living room. Good timing, I guess. Okay. Anyway, on with, hopefully, the show.
Actually, I think it was more of a boom, really.
Really? Because I distinctly heard it more like a bam.
Anyway, someone knocked us out with a booming and or bamming sound, and actually, I think it was more of...
You say the lights went out? That light was joy. And it's getting snuffed out all over the city, dragging us all into a sea of blackness.
Can we go? Your gramifieds are really bringing us down.
And we're in a doomsday cult.
No, keep talking.
Actually, I think it was more of a boom.
You lie. Why are you lying?
We're not lying. Someone snuck up on us and knocked us out.
How do you think we wound up on the floor like that?
Okay. What else can you tell me?
I think it was more of a...
Go ahead. Put us out of our misery.
Since we've lost the devil's toy box, we might as well be dead anyway.
Too easy. Keep talking.
Actually, I think it was more of a boom, really.
Really?
What are you talking about?
The devil's toy box.
It's a source of horrible, terrible power.
And now it's gone.
We're doomed.
Doomed.
Stop doing that. What else can you tell me?
Well, that's the last thing we remember until you woke us up and started snarling at us.
Yeah, that's the last thing we remember. Yup, I was totally unconscious the whole...
Now all I can see is his blank, brainless body staring at me, asking me, why?
Okay, you've obviously got some issues to sort out, and we've got an apocalypse to prepare for, so can we go now?
What happened to Max? Talk!
Was totally unconscious the whole time.
Go ahead, put us out of our misery.
Since we've lost the devil's toy box, we might as well be dead anyway.
Too easy. Keep
Totally unconscious.
What are you talking about?
Well, you see, when the brain loses consciousness, it loses the ability to process and retain memories. So
I
then...
already know that. Go on.
Yup, I was totally unconscious.
Liar.
All right. I came to before Jebediah, just in time to hear the telltale sounds of a brain being removed from a bunny.
Obadiah, why didn't you do anything?
I was afraid. Afraid that he'd remove my brain too.
Who? Who took Max's brain?
It was the space gorilla!
Skunk Ape!
Of course! He must have been released from the penal zone when the toy box was stolen.
I'm so sorry.
Not half as sorry as that brain-stealing space ape's gonna be when I catch up with him. Hello, ugly. You're one of Skunk Ape's goons. Where's your boss? What did he do to my little buddy?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkapi since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone. I'll never forget his final terrified howl as it echoed across the dimensional boundaries. Anyhow, never forget his final
Unjustly. Don't make me chortle. When you get right down to it, we all deserve to get tossed into the penal zone. You, me, the guy who delivers your deep dish pizzas, all of us, bubbling over with sin and corruption and...
Is there a point to this, or are you just trying to get me depressed?
Sorry, just thinking out loud. Where were we?
Never forget his final terrified howl.
You're lying!
No, I'm not. I haven't seen the General, and I defy anyone to say otherwise.
Go on.
His final terrified howl. Are you trying to threaten me with that?
Maybe.
You are aware that my ultra-dense space gorilla hide renders me impervious to your puny Earth bullets, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Where were we?
Forget his final terrified... Could you stop waving around your ineffectual Earth weapon? It's very distracting.
I can't help it. I'm a dog on the edge.
As I was saying, since Skunkapi's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating my life choices. I've abandoned violence for a career as a science spinner. It's a very fulfilling, low-temperature job, more suited to a space ape of a certain age. Abandoned violence for a career as a science...
You can't reevaluate your way out of fate, chump. We're all headed for a pine box and a boilerplate eulogy, and you can't change that any more than a tiger can change his pants.
You possess a very depressing worldview.
It comes with the territory when someone cuts out your partner's brain.
Abandoned violence for a career as...
You lie!
No, it's true! I've abandoned a life of violence and conquest for an honest, peaceful job as a sign spinner. See?
Ah, yes. So, where were we?
For a career as a sign... Are you trying to threaten me with that?
Maybe.
You are aware that my ultra-dense space gorilla hide renders me impervious to your puny Earth bullets, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Where were we?
As a sign spinner. Could you stop waving around your ineffectual Earth weapon? It's very distracting.
I can't help it. I'm a dog on the edge.
As I was saying, it's a sign spinner.
Reevaluating your life choices? What does that even mean?
Skunkapi's defeat made me take a really hard look at myself. Honestly, is there anything more pathetic than a middle-aged space gorilla waving his blaster around the galaxy like some kind of teenager?
How about a dead partner?
The only way to break the cycle was to just walk away. Now I have a wonderful job as a sign spinner and a girlfriend in the village, and I don't even have to shoot anyone.
How nice for you.
But enough about me. You should talk to the rat. Yes, the rat. He certainly seems plugged into the ins and outs of this gloriously filthy metropolis. Rat.
Rats? The whole world's full of rats. All of them clawing each other's eyes out to get off this sinking ship called life.
That's quite disturbing and sad. Please stop.
I won't stop until I get the guy who did this to my little buddy.
Rat.
You lie! There is no rat!
Excuse me. Have you seen this city? There's rats everywhere. He certainly seems... Are you trying to threaten me with that?
Maybe.
You are aware that my ultra-dense space gorilla hide renders me impervious to your puny Earth bullets, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Where were we?
Plugged into the... Could you stop waving around your ineffectual Earth weapon? It's very distracting.
I can't help it.
As I was saying, that is
Rat? What rat?
Frankie the Rat. He traffics in stolen merchandise and tawdry gambling rings.
Where can I find him?
He hangs out on the corner of Veni and Vidi in the Latin Quarter.
Frankie the Rat. The name left a bad taste on my tongue and an itchy sensation in my boxers. Still, there wasn't a rodent more plugged into the bad wiring in this city. Hey, Rat.
Sam, buddy, how's it hanging?
My partner's got a bad case of a missing brain, and someone thinks you might know something about it.
Brain, huh? Well, I did see something unusual and brain-related a little while back.
Spill!
I was given directions to a confused tourist. Poor fellow was wandering around in circles, scaring all the kiddies with his umlauts and tvortisnacks and whatnot. I was wandering around in
This city's full of lost little lambs, and most of the Bo Peeps are just leading them to the slaughterhouse.
Yeah. You want to hear this story or just try and get me all depressed?
Sorry.
Wandering around in
You're lying!
Prove it!
I can't!
Then quit spraying me with spittle and let me finish. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Hey, man, no need to pull out the heavy metal. I'm talking, see? So, like I was saying, I was almost done helping the guy, see? When bam! All of a sudden, this space ape comes barreling down the street, fighting with some other mook. A space ape carrying a brain!
Skunk ape.
I hadn't seen anything that weird since Aunt Jacqueline's vacation slides from Pismo Beach with the jellyfish on the water skis. Anyways, that weird since Aunt Jack...
My partner had a brain once. It wasn't the best brain in the world, and a lot of people said it was chemically imbalanced, but it was his. And now it's gone. Gone like hula hoops and print journalism.
What the heck are you talking about, man?
Sorry, got lost in the moment. Go on.
That weird since Aunt Jack...
You lying, dirty rat!
No, really, it was a space ape and some dweeb in a goofy hat. Anyway, Aunt Jacqueline's vacation... Yeah, the gorilla pulled out his gun, just like that. Anyway, that weird since Aunt...
A brain? Was it Max's?
How should I know? All I know, it was a brain in a jar, and that crazy space gorilla was holding on to it like it was his best friend in the world. So anyways, I grabbed the tourist, and we ducked behind a bunch of crates with the other gorilla. We kept our heads down until the fight moved on down the street. And that's all I know about the space ape what took your buddy's brain. No fooling. That's all I know. I don't know no more. Space ape what took your buddy's brain.
Sure, hide behind your crates and wait for someone else to do something. But one day, the violence in the streets is gonna spill over the gutters and stain your pretty white socks with the blood of the innocents.
Socks? I don't got any socks. I'm a rat.
And don't you forget it.
So now what? Safe, what took your buddy's...
You lie!
Hey, Sam, I never lie about my cowardice. I'm really proud of it. So now what? About the space ape, what... Yipes! Stop doing that! It ain't good for my angina. So now what? Space ape, what took your...
Other gorilla? What other gorilla?
Believe it or not, it was another space ape. He was spinning a sign for some pet store, the poor schlub.
So that dirty punk sign spinner did see Skunk Ape.
So now what? Wandering around and...
Where?
Hey, take it easy, big fella. I sent him right over that way, about 2 miles.
Frankie the Rat helping a tourist? It was absurd. Absurd like Max was, back when he had a brain. So imagine my surprise when I found Frankie's tourist wandering around the bad side of town.
langen oben. Und der Gliemen langen. Oh! Ah!
You, foreign guy, what's your story?
Ooh, an American police shakedown. How thrilling.
Yeah, it's a real honor. Now, what do you know?
Well, about an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats.
And Frankie sent you here?
Yeah,
Dirty lion rat.
you know, back in Europe, I heard so many warnings about your country's rats, but this Frankie was so gracious and helpful. Anyhow, Europe, I heard so many warnings.
Another lost soul on the highway of life, forced to get directions from the rats at their feet.
Excuse me? I'm afraid I don't understand your greedy American metaphors and allusions. Warnings about your country.
You lie!
You're right, it was more like 57 minutes ago. Yeah, but you American police are stinklers. Anyhow, in Europe I heard so... Is that one of your famous American handguns? Fascinating. We don't have any of these in Europe, you know. I heard so many...
Museum district?
See, yeah, as a child in Europe, I always dreamt of visiting your city's famous museum district with its Institute of Incomplete Technologies and Hall of Filthy Arts. It's a little more underwhelming than it appeared in my schulbooks. Any Flugen, I was about to give him a tip for the help when all of a sudden a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg erupted in the middle of one of your asphalt fjords. At least I think it was Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg. It might have been more of an Ödeler Spokenfreundl affair. But I digress. Wachzauberkrieg. It might have been more...
A hard rain's coming, pal. And when it comes, you're gonna wish you were only in a Weltraum-Liebwachsauberkrieg.
Your grimness is depressing, but something must be getting lost in a translation. So, as I was saying, Zauberkrieg, might have...
Liar!
Nein, nee, it really was a Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg. But more like a kleine Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg. But anyway, Liebe Wachzauberkrieg. Is that one of your famous American handguns? Fascinating. We don't have any of these in Europe, you know. Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg.
Ultra super colored what now?
Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg. My people's word for a stunning battle between a strangely garbed man and an alien space gorilla carrying a brain in a jar. So, where was I? Oh, yes! After the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed and ibble-skibbled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. And you know what else? I'm starting to think that this isn't actually the museum district. Maybe I am mistaking the friendly rat's directions. I'm starting to...
It's a strange land, all right. Strange and dark and twisted
Please stop! I'm already ibble-skibbled enough.
Sorry.
De nada. Anything else? I'm starting to think. Is that one of your famous American handguns? Fascinating. We don't have any of these in Europe, you know. Shall I continue? I'm starting to think that this...
What?
Ibble-skibbled. It's a common European word that describes the feeling of mild disorientation combined with nagging doubts about a rat. Honestly, what do they teach you Americans in your schools?
Video poker!
So, what else would you like to know? I'm starting...
Liar!
Moi? Lie? How dare you make such an accusation without a shred of proof? When I get back to the hotel, I will report you to the European consulate at once.
Fine.
Fine. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. People in this country are so intense.
The tourists seemed like just another victim circling the drain, but I knew there was more to the story. It was time to circle back and flush out the truth. I'm back! Now where's Skunk Ape?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkapi since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone. I'll never forget his final terrified howl as it...
That story ain't gonna wash, Bonzo. Your pal Frankie told me all about how you and he hid from a fight between Skunk Ape and some other guy. Now make with the lip flapping and I better like what I hear.
It's true. A few of your Earth minutes ago, I was spinning my sign for Frankie the Rat and a tourist when General Skunkape came running down the street, chasing after a strangely garbed man. To my everlasting shame, I cowered behind a crate like a common Venusian bonobo as the general and his prey skirmished. Shame, I cowered behind a crate.
Some days it seems like the whole world is chasing after me, and someone's tied together my shoelaces with regrets and betrayals.
That's pretty sad, but you don't have any shoes.
It's a metaphor.
So anyhow, everlasting shame, I cowered
You're lying!
Why would I lie about seeing Skunkape after you just caught me in a lie about not seeing him?
Sorry, lost my angry train of thought for a second. Continue!
I cowered behind a crate. Are you trying to threaten me with that?
Maybe.
You are aware that my cowered behind a crate.
Strangely garbed.
Yes, a man in a faded jacket and a strange hat. He seemed to be carrying a box of some sort. General Skunkape was in hot pursuit. After the general and the stranger fled the scene, I discovered that he had dropped this. I'm surprised he didn't come back for it, but he appeared to be in something of a hurry. Oh well, he didn't come back for it, but...
I dropped something once. I think it was my innocence. Then I dropped my compassion. Now I just drop punks.
Is that supposed to be dark? It doesn't make sense.
Sue me.
Back for it, but he appeared...
Liar!
It's right in front of your face, see?
Okay, so maybe that's not a lie.
At least he didn't come back for it, but he...
What's that? A brain remover?
I believe it's one of the toys of power that my general has been collecting for the past 25 Kryleks.
I knew that. Give me that toy.
No! I need it to get back in General Skunkape's good graces. Once I return this artifact to the general, he'll forgive my temporary abandonment of his goals and welcome me back to his crew with open arms. Oh, how I've come to miss standing at my general's side these past few hours. I wonder if he'll promote me. To miss standing...
You're lying!
About what?
How
I've come to miss... That pitiful pop gun will never make me give up the rhinoplasty, Earth Dog. How I've come to miss stand...
I thought you were a sign-spinning pacifist now.
I was, but the sight of the general pummeling that stranger rekindled my hours-dormant lust to conquer the galaxy at his side. How I've come to miss...
Huh. You're fooling yourself, kid.
What are you talking about?
The only thing Skunkape's gonna welcome you with is a fistful of phasers. You can't go home again. You can't even get on the porch. You've tasted the apple, peed in the pool, bitten the hand that rocks the cradle. You're a sign spinner to him now, and that's all you're ever gonna be.
You're right. It's hopeless. No matter what I do now, I'll never soar through the galaxy at my general's side ever again.
And I hate to tell you, but you're not a very good sign spinner either. I hated to see a grown gorilla cry, so I got in the car and looked for another lost soul to join me as I gazed into the abyss. Finally, a clue. The last time we saw the rhinoplasty toy, Max's special brain used it to turn into a bazooka. Now it was going to lead me to the guy who stole that special brain. It wasn't exactly ironic, but I didn't care. Crimetron, do your stuff! What do you mean not found in database?
The Crimetron requires additional clues to make an informed deduction.
Clues? I haven't got time for clues. Max's body is starting to smell differently.
Then maybe you should stop yelling at my girlfriend and start with the clue-finding.
Grrr. Frankie lied to me about helping that tourist. I hate it when punks lie to me. Frankie, what do you know?
I was given directions to a confused tourist.
To the museum district?
Yeah, around in circles, scaring all the kids.
Don't lie to me, Frankie. I talked to your tourist, and it looks to me like you sent him over to the wrong side of town to get rolled by your rat pack.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But this conversation is over. I ain't saying nothing till I get some legal representation. Attica! Attica! Police brutality! Excessive force! Where's the neighborhood watch when a victimized rat needs it? The nerve of some people. Trampling a rat's God-given merengue rights. There ought to be a law or something. I'm pleading the 5th. Maybe even the 6th. Whatever it is, I'm pleading it. And no two-bit cop is gonna stop me. Nerve of some people. Trampling a...
Lawyers and rats. One's a disease-spreading vermin gnawing away at the foundations of society, and the other likes cheese.
That's pretty funny, but I'm still not talking. The 5th. Maybe even the 6th. Whatever it is.
Stop lying!
Who says I'm lying? Attica! Attica!
What are you talking about?
Well, you see, we got a little thing in this country called the Constitution. And... so you've heard of it. For some people. Trampling a rat's...
Do you want a lawyer? Here's an attorney from Smith & Wesson.
Okay, I'll talk. Sheesh. Like you guessed, I gave the tourist directions to the bad side of town, but I was just winding them up, really. Hey, ask me, the schmuck deserved it. Acting all high and mighty and European, wearing his fancy socks. Schmuck deserved it.
The whole stinking city's wound up.
Look,
Like a...
do you want me to finish my story, or do you want to go off on another depressing tangent?
I'm not really sure.
Anyway, deserved it. Acting all high.
You're lying! No, wait, you're not. Keep going.
Anyway, the schmuck deserved it. Again with the gun. Look, I'm talking, ain't I?
I guess.
Anyway, acting all... What? You know, the bad side of town. Hoboville, Flemberg, Broken Corners, that area. Anyway, when the big fight broke out, me, the tourist, and the other gorilla ducked down behind a crate, and I, picked their pockets. The tourist was loaded with high-exchange European stuff, but all the other guy had was funny-looking green cubes. High-exchange Europeans.
Sure, hide behind your crates and wait for someone else to do something. But one day, the violence in the streets is gonna spill over the gutters and stain your pretty white socks with the blood of the innocents.
Socks? I don't got any socks. I'm a rat.
And don't you forget it.
Anyway, with high-exchange European...
You lie!
Hey, Sam, I never lie about my cowardice. I'm really proud of it. Anyway, with high-exchange European... Yipes! Stop doing that! It ain't good for my angina. Anyway, but all the other guy had was fun...
Other gorilla? What other gorilla?
Believe it or not, it was another space ape. He was spinning a sign for some pet store to push, schlub.
So that dirty punk sign spinner did see Skunk Ape.
Anyway, after the fight moved on, the tourist got a nice souvenir for his trouble, and I skedaddled back here. And that's all I know, honest. Ask anybody. They'll vouch for old Frankie, if they know what's good for him, that is. No, honest. Ask...
I used to skedaddle before the weight of the sin and debauchery.
Yeah, the world's a dark and miserable place. I get it. Honest. Ask anybody.
Liar!
No, honest. I came right back here. And then you showed up and started slapping me around. So now what? Buddy, they'll vouch for old Frank. I don't mean to criticize, Sam, but the gun thing just ain't as intimidating when you keep pulling it out like that. So now what? Anybody, they'll vouch...
Souvenir?
Yeah, something fell out of the funny hat guy's pocket, and the tourist scooped it up.
What was it?
I don't know, something.
So the tourist didn't leave empty-handed after all.
So what now?
Stick around. I may be back.
I shall count the minutes.
Ooh, a repeat performance.
Let's run through it one more time. And speak slowly. I'm an American.
As I said before, About an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats. You know, back in Europe, I had so many...
Hurry it up!
I was about to give him a tip for the help, when all of a sudden, Weltraumliebe Wachzauber... At least I think it was Weltraumliebe Wachzauberkrieg.
Then what?
After the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed and ipple-skippled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. You know what else? I'm starting to think that this isn't...
Don't play innocent with me, metric lover. The rat saw you pick up something after the fight. Now spill!
Yeah, it's true. I took a souvenir from the fight. I didn't think anyone would notice. Here.
Norrington? Who the heck is Norrington?
I don't know. Just don't hurt me. You Americans are all animals. Animals.
Norrington. The name rang fewer bells than a sleigh in July. Hopefully, it would be enough. Okay, Crimetron, this is your last chance before I start looking for an upgrade. Come on, you obsolete hunk of junk. Talk! Where's Skunk Ape?
Sam, no!
Stop holding out on me!
Get away from her, you brute.
Finally.
Audiences across the country say, you're a monster, Sam.
What have you become?
The Museum of Mostly Natural History, the tarnished jewel of the city's once thriving museum district. Max and I always meant to visit, but we'd never gotten around to it. Now we were finally going to take in its thrilling and dubiously educational displays with a vengeance. All right, Skunk Ape, it's time to pay the piper, plus tax and applicable service fees.